गोपीजन्ना वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी गोपीजन्ना वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी यशोदानन्दन व्रजजन रञ्जन यशोदानन्दन व्रजजन रञ्जन यमुनातीरावनचारि यमुनातीरा वनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
श्री श्री राधा माधव अष्टसखी वृंद की, पंचवत भगवान की, प्रहलाद नरसिंह भगवान की, ग्रंथरा श्रीमद् भागवत महापुराण की, हरिनाम संकीर्तन की, समवेत भक्त वृंद की, गौर प्रेमानंद। ओम अज्ञानातिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतोपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं स्वाग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं स्वाद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पश्चात्प्रदेशतारिणे। वंशाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये। नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवतीरुत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठिकी। मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुलङ्घायते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुदीनतारिणम्। सर्वशास्त्राभ्युपीयूष सर्ववेदैकसत्फल सर्वसिद्ध्यान्तरत्नाढ्य सर्वलोकैकविप्रद सर्वभागवत प्राण श्रीमद्भागवत प्रभो कलिध्वान्त उदित आदित्य श्री कृष्ण परिवर्तित। हरे कृष्ण। আমরা পাঠ করছি শ্রীমদ্ ভাগবত মহাপুরাণ তৃতীয় স্কন্ধ অধ্যায় 26 শ্লোক সংখ্যা 52। एतदण्डं विशेषाख्यं क्रमवृद्धेर्दशोत्तरे तोयादिभिः परिवृतं प्रधानेनावृतेर्वहि यत्र लोकवितानोऽयं रूपं भगवतो हरेः। एतदण्डं विशेषाख्यं क्रमवृद्धेर्दशोत्तरे तोयादिभिः परिवृतं प्रधानेनावृतेर्वहि यत्र लोकवितानोऽयं रूपं भगवतो हरेः। एतदण्डं विशेषाख्यं क्रमवृद्धेर्दशोत्तरे तोयादिभिः परिवृतं प्रधानेनावृतेर्वहि यत्र लोकवितानोऽयं रूपं भगवतो हरेः।
एतदण्डं विशेषाख्यम्
एतदण्डं विशेषाख्यं क्रमवृद्धेर्दशोत्तरे
त्वयादिभिः परिवृतं प्रधानेन वृतैर्बहिः यत्र लोकवितानोऽयं रूपं भगवतो हरे
एतदन्तं विशेषाख्यम्
क्रमवृद्धेर्दशोत्तरे
त्वयादिभिः परिवृतं प्रधानेन वृतैर्बहिः यत्र लोकवितानोऽयं रूपं भगवतो हरे
एतदण्डं विशेषाख्यं क्रमवृद्धेर्दशोत्तरे त्वयादिभिः परिवृतं प्रधानेनावृतैर्बहिः यत्र लोकवितानोऽयं रूपं भगवतो हरेः एतदण्डं विशेषाख्यं क्रमवृद्धेर्दशोत्तरे त्वयादिभिः परिवृतं.
Here and also on the television, I would like to speak a few words here for my own purification. So, we are in the third canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, and in this chapter, which is entitled Fundamental Principles of Material Nature, Kapila Deva is instructing Devahuti, his mother, about creation, about so many things, about Sankhya. What is Sankhya? Sankhya is differentiating what is what, understanding the elements by the nature of it, and then ultimately come to the conclusion of who we are. This is Sankhya philosophy. In that method, he has explained so many things. In the past, he explained how the creation happens, how there is an unintelligent egg which comes into the place. I don't know whether there is an intelligent egg also, but there is an unintelligent egg. And then inside that egg, after the Lord enters, it becomes a Hiranmaya golden egg. And then he divides that egg into different departments. And in this particular verses, we understood the creation of the virāṭ-puruṣa. In the first verse it was skin, thereupon hair, mustache, beard appeared, and herbs and drugs became manifest, and then their genitals also appeared. And then there is semen, God who presides over water, and then there is anus and the organs of defecation, and thereupon God of death who is feared throughout the universe. And to the purport of this verse, our dear Srila Prabhupada, as always, guides us towards understanding either Sambandha Abhidaya Prayojana. Here he is saying how this particular verse has to be understood. He is saying those people who want to, therefore yogis and transcendentalists who want to live for a greater span of life, voluntarily restrain themselves from discharging semen. Such a great standard which Prabhupada wants all of us to follow. This is International Society for Krishna Consciousness, started by Srila Prabhupada. For all of us, we have understood and experienced some kind of bliss, some kind of happiness, and hence we are all sticking here. But what is the kind of standard which Prabhupada wants us to follow? He wants us to follow standards of yogis. Okay? He wants us to follow standards of being very, very chaste to our parampara and the process and the promises made to our Guru. What are the promises which we make to our Guru? We say 4 things we will not do and 1 thing we will do. What is that? We say we will not take meat, including onion and garlic. We say that we will not do intoxication, including coffee and tea. We'll say that we will also not do gambling, including speculative trading, and will not get into illicit sex. And also we promise one other thing. We say that we will chant 16 rounds of Hare Krishna Maha Mantra minimum. This is not maximum. But somehow it becomes minimum. So these are the standards which we promise our Guru, and we are there on this path. Just think about the path we are on, the opportunity which we have, and the actions which we take. At the end of the morning's recitation in many temples, either in Mayapur they stopped doing it some time ago, I don't know why, but we used to recite the 10 offenses towards the holy names. We recite all the 10 offenses, and then we say, it is also an offense to be inattentive while chanting. Every devotee who claims to be a Vaishnava must guard against these offenses in order to quickly achieve the desired success, which is... All of us state with enthusiasm, saying that we are on the path of achieving Krishna Prem. For that, what is required? What is required is to follow 4 regulative principles and chant. But is that the end? Following the 4 regulative principles and chanting 16 rounds has got so many details that our entire life is spent in this direction. Entire life practically. What is it that we want to do? We want to chant that name which is offenseless. Offenseless chanting. If I have to do offenseless chanting, I have to understand whom am I chanting about. I have to understand my relationship with him. Ainanda tanuja kinkaram patitam maam vishame bhavambudau kripaya tava pada pankaja stita dhuli sadrisham chintaya. I am your dasa. So Prabhupada and our movement very clearly put dasa at the end of our name, or dasi at the end of our names. And why does the Diksha process warrant a need of change of name? Why can't just they take our karmi name and add dasa at the end? Because there are 2-3 reasons. One is that the Guru knows our relationship with the Lord. Okay? And hence they try to introduce us towards that. And also, one of the biggest attachments that a human being has in this material world, in addition to many other things, is our name. Think about it. Whenever you go to buy a pen, have you experienced this? You go to buy a pen. They give you the pen. You want to test it. What do you write first? Your name. The attachment to the name is so strong that if somebody in a movie or in some kind of a scroll of acknowledgement towards some video, your name comes. Hey, Vinod. Nothing to do with you. No, you have not done anything for that particular movie or particular poster or whatever. But attachment to that name so high that if somebody writes your name on a piece of paper and puts it on the ground and stamps it, why are you stamping my name? He has not kicked you. He has not kicked on your head. Nothing has happened to you. But your name. So this name attachment has to be removed, and hence they give a different name. But what happens? We develop attachment to this new name and forget the dasa and the dasi at the end. Why all these things happen is because we are not am not following that 4 regulative principles to the core, and I'm not able to chant the Maha Mantra offenselessly till now. Because if I had chanted offenselessly, I would have got liberated. Right? So, are we looking at liberation? How many of you say we are looking at liberation? Some people go put up their hand. How many? Let's raise hands. How many people want to liberate? Why? Ultimately, what is it that we want? We want some respite from this heat. Huh? Heat is, we are experiencing heat. We experience cold in November. And when rainy season comes, it is very difficult for us to move. It's raining. It hinders our movement. Right? And then, day before yesterday, we experienced thirst. Some of us did Nirjala. It was as though our life air was sucked off by Ekadashi. What is this? During the announcement, whoever did the announcement on the Ekadashi day was saying that on the Dwadashi day, he was saying, on the Ekadashi he was saying the Paran time is from 8:52 to 9:52. I was serving inside the kitchen and everybody, what? You can't drink water till 8:52. What? And then he said, I'm sorry, it is from 4:52. Maro usko. Why? Because he made a wrong announcement. Why? Because we know that our attachment to this particular drinking of the water is there. Why? Because we have body. So liberation takes us away from all these things. So why don't we want liberation? Baladev Vidyabhushan, in his commentaries to in the Govinda Bhashya and many other places, even in the other works which he has done, he speaks about 3 tracks in which devotees are there: Swanishtita, Parinishtita and Nirapeksha. Swanishtita, Parinishtita and Nirapeksha. Swanishtita means those devotees who desire liberation through devotional service. They are devotees. They want to do devotional service. They want liberation. But they also want some material happiness. This is Swanishtita. So what is the future of such devotees? They will slowly get purified, get a body of a higher planetary system, become demigods, slowly become Brahma, and at the end of Brahma's life, attain liberation and go to Vaikuntha. Takes a lot of time to end of Brahma's life. First of all, you have to go from step by step to demigod to Brahma to this. But they will get liberation because they are doing devotional service. This is Swanishtita. Parinishtita means those devotees who want to use devotional service, want to get liberation, but they are not interested in material happiness. No material happiness required. For these kind of devotees will eventually become liberated at the end of this life and they go to Vaikuntha. At this end of this life. So how many of you want this at the end of this life? They get liberation and they go to Vaikuntha. Still people are uninterested. There is a third category of devotees called Nirapeksha. They don't even want liberation. They want to do devotional service for only serving the Lord. These kind of devotees will achieve higher Vaikuntha planet starting from Ayodhya up to Golok Vrindavan. So which category are we? According to this definition, we are supposed to be in the third category. Not desiring for liberation, doing devotional service for the sake of devotional service and no other expectation. Then why did you want money? Why do we want comforts? Why do we want to take care of our family? Why do we want to serve our parents? Questions. I am not saying this is right or wrong. Why? Because it's all dharma. So, what is it that attaches us to all these things? Is our attachment to sex life. Our subtle body carries the impression of our attachment to sex life into this life. Vayur gandhan ivashayat. Like how wind carries aromas of different places to different places, the subtle body carries the impression of the previous janma and the vasanas to this birth. So we have got this body. This body has got its plus and minus. We have to go through, because this body is the only thing which we have. But attachment to sex life, attachment to sense gratification, it is all there inside this body, like how there is fire inside the wood. There is fire inside the wood. Or else, why will it burn? You try to burn a stone, will it ever catch fire? It will not catch fire. Why? Because there is no fire inside the stone. You try to burn petrol, how fast will it catch fire? Immediate. Why? Because there is lot of fire inside petrol. The potential fire hidden inside petrol makes it so inflammable and combustible. So all of us have different degrees of lust hidden in us. Different degrees of lust. Regardless of our stage of life, regardless of our body's age, there is lust hidden in all of us who are not liberated. How we are fighting with that is our journey. How we are fighting with that is our journey. Because all of us are there in this society. We said it is International Society for Krishna Consciousness. In my personal understanding, we are in the International Strugglers Society for Krishna Consciousness. We are struggling. We are struggling with our sadhana. We are struggling with our sense control. Our sadhana helps us with our sense control. Our sense control helps us with our sadhana. Our senses are impeding us towards taking actions which are not recommended. Our mind sometimes supports the senses. Our mind sometimes supports us. We are able to control the mind in a few situations. We are not able to control the mind in few situations. Because all senses and sense objects are not equal. Some of us have got victory on certain sense objects. Certain sense objects are still in the neophytic stage. Not all sense gratification is equal. Some sense gratifications will lead us to hell, but all sense gratification needs to be avoided. What is the example that we have? Saying that who has perfected life? Who is the example we give always? Who is perfect? Some Ambrish Maharaj. Sometimes we say Dhruva, Prahlad. What kind of exemplary characters are these? Characters in Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita or Mahabharata, Ramayana are exemplary characters, giving us instructions either by their success or by their failure. In either ways, a sadhaka has to learn. The purpose of reading Ramayana and understanding, let us say, Vibhishana, is to understand how exemplary was his character that living in in Lanka under the shelter of Ravana, his consciousness was towards Rama. We learn this. Great example. That devotee who went with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu for serving him, had a personal association of not his name, his self. Krishnadas went, and what happened with him? He got attracted to a gypsy woman while he was in the company of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Not like he was like 5 meters away or in 5 houses away, or he was going and meeting him once in a while, or he was hearing his katha once in a while. No, he was serving him day in, day out. He was accompanying him. He was seeing that he was converting the entire villages to devotees. And those devotees, with meeting each other, touches them and they become devotees. Wow, amazing. But what did he do? He went and got attracted to a gypsy woman. What do we learn? Arey, Kala Krishnadas kya kiya? No. We understand that the senses are so strong. Bhagavad Gita says one roaming sense can take the boat away. One roaming sense. And these examples we have our success is Dhruva Maharaj. What did Dhruva Maharaj do? At the age of 5, he understood Narada Muni's instruction, was able to chant the mantra which he gave, and then first he started eating once in 3 days, that too fallen fruits. And after that he started eating leaves which have fallen from the tree once in 6 days. Then once he started drinking water once in 9 days. And he started breathing once in 12 days in different months. Bhai, what kind of example am I setting myself for? And we are saying that we have to emulate this person. Dhruva Maharaj achieved the Lord in 6 months. Yes, if you do all these things, Lord will be impressed. And we on Nirjala Ekadashi, not for 12 days, for 24 hours we are worrying, well, will the next drop of water come? And on the Ekadashi we are trying to take Achaman more. Why? Because it's a source of water. Keshavaya Nama, Narayana Nama, Madhavaya Nama, more water. Why? Because it is quenching my parched throat. Right? So, are we in that nirapeksha mode? Or are we swanishtita? People with desire for liberation and using devotional service with material desire, stating here with a cover saying that no, I am wanting to be a pure devotee. What are we? Which track are we on? That track we have to understand. If we are those devotees who have material desire, what should we do? Okay, I have material desire, I will become Brahma one day, and after that I will get liberation. Okay, you guys go and chant Hare Krishna. I will do something else. Is that what you're supposed to do? Knowledge of these 3 tracks does not mean that we accept our fate and wither away. No. In 1950s, there was one scientist, I forget his name. He did experiments with rats. What he did, he put rats onto cylinders of water. Rats can't swim forever. They are not fish. So they swim for a while, and after that they have to give up. So there was no way to come up that cylinder. So it was an enclosed cylinder of water. As soon as he put the rats there, some rats gave up immediately. Within 1 minute they said, Chalo, I have accepted my fate, gone. I will drown. So they drowned. Some rats died like this. Then another experiment. Few rats, what they did, they swam for 10-15 minutes. 15 minutes they swam. Then they drowned. So what he did, at the next experiment, after the 15 minutes, when they were about to drown, he took out the rat, dried it with a towel, allowed them to rest for a while, and then put them back into the water. Then he started calculating how many more minutes will these rats swim. He started seeing, after getting the respite, the rats started swimming. After 15, they swam till 30, 60 minutes, 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours, 16 hours, 24 hours, 48 hours, 80 hours they swam. 80 hours they swam. With what? With the hope of somebody will pick them up. 80 hours they swam. Who could potentially swim only how many minutes? 15 minutes. Potentially could only swim 15 minutes. But with the hope being there, they swam for 80 hours. What is it to do with us? We are not Dhruv Maharaj. We are not Ambrish Maharaj. But our acharyas have given us directions. And we have seen some devotees who are able to give up their sense gratification and completely surrender to the Lord, achieve miraculous feats which is beyond the body of humans. Miraculous feats. So if they were able to achieve, and then they were able to demonstrate that they are not the body, like how the Shastras are claiming, then we are also on that path. With this hope that this body which is designed there as the perfect route for us for getting liberation, going back home, back to Godhead, we have the directions, the wind given by the Lord, the directions of the captain of our ship is there, who is holding the radar. We have to use this body, how much ever it might be difficult, that it is taking away from our focus. It might be distracting us, but even then we have this body only. In this way, we have to understand that we have the senses, and then different levels of sense gratification control we have. We could be in 4 stages of different sense gratification control. Sense control. What is it called? It is called, the first stage of sense control is called yatamana. This has been given by one commentator called Vedanta Desikar to a commentary to Ramanujacharya's commentary on Bhagavad Gita. So he says that there are 4 stages of sense control on different we have to think as practical sadhakas, which sense is my problem and where am I. Okay, Vedanta Desikar says that there are 4 things which happens when you see a sense object. Now think about whatever sense object you have. Okay, for some people it might be the opposite gender, for some people it might be an ice cream, for some people it might be YouTube, for some people it might be Netflix, for some people it might be gambling, whatever it could be, gambling with time. Anything which is leading to happiness through sense gratification will have the following 4 characteristics. What? You will identify it as a sense object. Okay. Second, you will feel happiness when you see that sense object. Third, you will have instant attachment towards the sense object. Okay, and then you will use your senses or mind to gratify yourself with that sense object. When a sadhaka sees the sense object, but he identifies it as sense object, feels happiness towards the sense object, has got immediate attachment towards that sense object also, and feels like having that sense object, but the sadhaka takes his eye away from the sense object. This is the first stage of sense control. Not seeing that sense object, trying to do something about it. There is Netflix somewhere on your friend's phone. Let us say it's your friend's phone and not your phone. let's say it's on your friend's phone, you see, and then you say, I will not use it. This is the first stage of first stage of sense control, which is called yatamana. Yatamana is trying. Second stage of sense gratification, sense control is when the person sees the sense object, he identifies it as a sense object. He feels happiness about seeing that sense object. But the instant need to use it or attain it is not there. Okay? But in this stage, the senses are not in full control, but this is called yatamana and vyatireka. There is differentiation. He is able to differentiate. The third stage is when the sadhaka sees the sense object, he is able to identify that it is still a sense object, but immediate happiness is not there. Understand, it's a sense object, but it's okay. Here the sadhaka senses are almost under control, but still the mind has got inclination towards sense gratification. Inclination towards sense gratification is still there, still lingering. This is called ekendriya. The outer senses are in control, but the mind might not be in fully control. That is why many acharyas say that after the senses are controlled also, it is still like a wild animal which has been controlled by the hunter. You should never leave it free. And the last stage of sense control is called vashikara. Vashikara is when the person, a sadhaka, sees a sense object, doesn't even recognize that it is a sense object. Hence, there is no happiness, hence there is no attachment for sense gratification, and hence he does not try to do sense gratification. So, yatamana, vyatireka, ekendriya and vashikara. For one particular sense object, we might have reached ekendriya or even vashikara. Other sense object we might still be struggling and still maybe at yatamana, still trying. Our life goes on in this. So, as followers of Srila Prabhupada and Rupa Goswami, our acharyas have given these shastras for our understanding and development of our bhakti. We are like that small bird who are incapable of doing everything on our own. But Garuda is waiting for us to help us. Why? Only if we go see towards the Supreme Lord in our heart as who is there as the Paramatma and beg towards Him, saying that, my Lord, I am trying my level best. We must be sure that is our level best. We cannot just fake, because Krishna as Paramatma knows whether we are trying our level best or faking our level best. Like how all the mothers know whether the child is really crying or is he or she just meowing. You know, some children just say, I got really annoyed and the child is crying and the mother was not picking up. I said, why are you letting your child cry? Prabhu, you don't even know. He'll just be there. He'll not cry anymore. Go and see, he'll not even have tears in his eyes. I went and saw, and lo and behold, he was not having tears in his eyes. Some children cry like that. But when the child really cries from the heart, the mother knows wherever she is, she'll immediately leave everything and come pick up the child. Regardless of what the child has done. Even a murderer's mother sheds tears for that murderer because she is the mother. That kind of a mother as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu we have. That kind of a mother. Regardless of what we have done, regardless of where we are, if we cry from the bottom of our heart, He is there. But what are we trying to do? We're trying to fake cry. With fake cry, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu knows he needs something else. We are in this moment where we are trying to fake ourselves, but what is it that we need is a very good support system for us as devotees. Support system is what is the association of devotees. This support system, if we are very strongly associated with the devotees, the chances that we might go astray is very less. But unfortunately, the jiva does not want strong association. It wants association which will suit the taste of the current sense gratification need. This is the truth about every jiva. If we want some real good advice, we know whom to go to. But we will never go to them because we know what they will say. Have you experienced this in your mind? Because the strength of that advice, we are not in a position to follow that advice, and hence we will not even go to them. We will go to a person who will say, "Chalega na, it's okay. You are doing this, no? That's okay. You are still new. So at this stage, it's okay." People who say like this, we go to. That is also important. But we have to understand that we will have to go to those devotees who will make us stronger, who will make us go towards a path which we don't want to go for our own purification. They will make us go there. But these support system, on support system and devotee care, it's an entire another different class. But this association is what we will need in order to equip ourselves to go towards that path which Prabhupada wants us to have, that kind of sense gratification where there will not be a semen discharge also from the males, and also the cooperation from the females. That kind of devotees, if Prabhupada is putting us in this particular canto, in a context where they are speaking about Sankhya, Prabhupada is giving us this learning of trying to control our senses like a yogi. He has told us many times that one has to be a grihastha, not a grihamedi. So if that is what Prabhupada wants and we are on the path, we have a very good institution and we have good association. What we have to do is take advantage of this. Take advantage of being in association. Unfortunately, we try to do everything on our own. Think about it. We say that we are in a personal movement. All of you come for Bhagavatam class almost on a daily basis. I've seen the same faces come and other faces don't come. I've seen that. Tell me how many of you know each other's name in this group? Hand on heart, almost nobody. Everybody's name you know? 2 people, it's okay. You might be friends outside. We are in a personal moment. We don't know each other's name. The person has got attachment for that name for his life and we don't know what to call him. Prabhu, kaam chal jata hai. Work is done. Mataji, work is done. On the way walking, how many times do we raise our head up and smile at the other person? People are walking as though they don't like to see each other. They see each other on the vehicle and just because they have to say Hare Krishna, they look the other side. Natural. We have accepted this as standards. We are in a personal movement, in a most impersonal way. So with these thoughts, which is for myself, I'd like to conclude. And if there are any questions, corrections, suggestions, comments, I would like to hear them.
Pranam Prabhu. Amazing class. Prabhu, just 2 questions. Number 1 is the 3 categories you had mentioned. Number 2 is performing devotion.
Parinishtita.
Yeah. With the intention of attaining liberation. Third is without. But in both cases, the end result is the same, is it?
No. Second case, they attain Vaikuntha planets. It's a very good place actually to go to. But third place, they achieve Goloka Vrindavan and Ayodhya and other places. Navadvip, Ayodhya, Navadvip, and other higher places of Vaikuntha. In the Vaikuntha realm, there is a Vaikuntha where there is Vishnu, where there is the process of Adan Pradan is Aishwarya with 4 hands. Okay, but in Goloka and in Ayodhya, 2 hands, and we are, the Adan Pradan is different. It could be in Sakya or in Madhurya or in Vatsalya, in Dasya also. But this is primarily Dasya in Aishwarya Bhav. So there are 2 differences.
And regarding, you had quoted Vedanta Desikar. Can you mention the name of the book for much detail reference?
This is Ramanujacharya's commentary on Bhagavad Gita, verses 55 to 58. In that, Vedanta Desikar quotes, in that actually Ramanujacharya says about 4 levels of sense control. Vedanta Desikar, he is one of his disciples, he comments on it later in his bhashya, in his purports. It's like Prabhupada commenting on Bhagavatam, he has given his thoughts. Na? Look, he has explained what are the 4 stages of sense control. That is Vedanta Desikar's book. So on Ramanujacharya's Bhagavad Gita, Vedanta Desikar has commented.
Text, chapter and...
Second chapter. Sorry, I forgot to say that. Second chapter, Second chapter, verse 55 to 58. Okay. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Srimad Bhagavatam.